It is February 16th, 2021, and we are going to do an experiment with the 2016 F-150 with the 5.0. It's got 331 gears, and we're going to do Shell 87 gas, and we will do both the dash mile per gallon, and then also hand calculated. And I got some things to think about when you're doing it by hand calculation. And then also, this truck has just over 137,000 miles, almost 138,000. So it'll be a combined her driving and my driving, and we'll see how many miles we do, and we'll kind of see what the averages are. Like I said, it is winter, so we're dealing with winter fuel and some warm up and things like that. Right now we're in Traverse City, so we'll have some city driving. So stay tuned and see how we work out this test. This is the Great Lakes Edition F-150, means that's leather seats, and it was by a company out of Grand Rapids. This is the long box version of the F-150, and it holds 36 gallons, 36 gallon tank. And it does have a topper. All right, it just clicked off. We just filled it up. Let's see what it shows on the gauge. So anyways, we are showing 743 miles till E, and this is our first part of the test. For one, how many miles can we get off this actual tank? So we're just firing up, and stay tuned. Hey, we are currently driving along Grand Traverse Bay, continuing on with our gas mileage, just kind of showing we've done some city driving, lights, 20 mile an hour stop and go. It is going to be mostly country driving because we do live up in rural northern Michigan, but as you can see, Grand Traverse Bay, a little bit of ice out there, 27 degrees today. It warmed up. It was 13 below this morning. Gas mileage continuing. Obviously this plays a little bit of a factor in it when you got to warm them up when it's like 0 out. That's the Montana F-350 because it's gray like the mountains, and Autumn's from Montana. The F-150, we call it Michigan because it's smaller than Montana, and it's the Great Lakes Edition. So that's what we're at so far. 400 miles left on the tank, 290 miles drove. Pulling out of the driveway, heading to work. What a beautiful morning. This is when your wife Leadfoot is driving too fast on these conditions. This is gas trip continued. It's 6:30 in the morning.
I'm not driving too fast. 45 miles an hour. I think that's too fast.
Two-wheel drive. We're at 509 on the tank. 509 miles drove so far. 136 miles left in this test on the first tank. "31 miles to E, 590.1 miles drove." Let's fill this thing up and let's show you something. Okay, this is the first fill up on this test, and this is a 36 gallon tank on this F-150, which we do like that because you can go a long ways. Okay, so when we started this test, it was showing 743. So that's a 15-mile difference, which is about a half a gallon of gas. So that will affect your hand calculations. So anyways, we're gonna keep this on here for trip 1, and we will reset trip 2 to see what kind of variances we may get.
Let's do 2 to 5, and I'll come home from work.
So I am doing the final fill up of this experiment with the 2016 F-150. It's got the 331 gears, and it's the 5-liter V8. This is on the crew cab, and it's the long box. So we just crossed the 139,000 mile mark. Probably in the next week or two, we'll get a tune-up on this. So now the truck is just filled up, showing 718 miles till E. The first tank, I believe, was showing 743 miles. So that's a 20-mile difference on the fill up, which means a couple of the other pumps had just a little bit more gas in there. I'm gonna go ahead and reset trip 2. Trip 1 on this experiment was showing 1,153 miles at 19.4 a gallon.